Hey, welcome back to the show. Nice to have you with me. Subscribe to the channel, please. Like the video, tell your friends and family, ring the bell for notifications. A couple things I want to check in on today. Democrats think they have got their campaign platform for 2026. Stealing a Mandami issue, affordability. That's the buzzword. Democrats think they have something. They're clinging to this word affordability and somehow trying to lay blame for the increased cost of living in America on Donald Trump and the Republicans. Just wrong, completely wrong. Americans will see right through this. They're going to try to run on affordability. They're going to run into some trouble. If we just look at the data, the consumer price index, let's just start June of 2009 when Barack Obama kind of began to own the economy, right? He was sworn in January 2009, a little spillover from the prior administration. But by the 6 or 7 months of administration, they began to own the economy. And so since 2009, June of 2009, through September of 2025, the price level was up nearly 50%, 50%. During Obama's 8 years, the price level was up 14%, measured by the CPI. During Trump's first term, up 11% on the back of the COVID shutdown. So an unusual kind of once-in-a-lifetime situation. I'd like to remind everyone out there, though, Trump was the guy that shut down the economy. He took the advice of these people who were turned out to be wrong. But Trump shut down the U.S. economy. Now, it was taken to another level by Democrat governors, of course. And then during the Biden term, the price level rose 19% in 4 years. And since June of 2025 through September, the price level is up 1%. If you want to lay blame on affordability, the data points clearly to Democrats and Democrat Party proposals and actions. Now, during the first 2 years of President Trump's first term, Republicans controlled the House, and the second 2 years, Democrats controlled the House. And so when it comes to affordability, Democrats own this. Republicans can point the finger right at Democrats. This is not unusual for Democrats to project like this, but it looks like it's the word on every Democrat elected official's lips, and certainly those that are running for re-election. Affordability. And we take New York City as an example. New York City has been unaffordable for a long, long time. It's just gone through the roof recently. We think about the most unaffordable places in the country. They're all blue cities, blue states, overregulated, overtaxed, pushing global warming policies that spike electricity prices. And while President Trump is wrong to say we have no inflation right now, because it's not true. We're at 2.8%, maybe 3% inflation rate currently. There's no denying during his office, during his tenure, the rate of change in the cost of living was better than during Obama or Biden. So this would be an argument for Republicans to refute. The data demonstrates it quite clearly. And of course, we're talking about a whole bunch of other things when it comes to cost of living, like the failure of Obamacare, the exponential increases in health insurance costs and medical care costs. That's on Obamacare. That's on the Democrats. And that's a driving force for the affordability. When it comes to housing, we have to think about the Federal Reserve, those Americans who were lucky enough to get mortgage rates below 4% from 2021 through 2023, who now will not be leaving those houses anytime soon. That takes a lot of existing home sales off the market. Of course, the home sharing, Verbo, Airbnb has caused real problems in terms of supply, overregulation of construction, rising construction costs in terms of inputs like lumber. There's lots of reasons, and some not related to political actions or political policies, some related to allowing free market activities to take hold in a way that's damaging to housing supply and therefore housing prices. But the affordability issue Democrats are trying to use against Republicans is not going to work. The data is clear. During Biden's term, I don't remember a single Democrat talking about affordability. Remember, during the Biden administration, we had the highest rate of inflation since the 1970s, reaching 9.1% in 2022. That's on Biden, that's on the Democrats in Congress, period. Now, both parties are responsible for too much spending. And we think about inflation, the rate of change in the price index. We're talking about too much money chasing too few goods, fostered by monetization of the debt by the Federal Reserve. So blame to go around in a variety of ways. But when it comes to the Democrats' argument about affordability, sorry, they own it. Republicans do not. Easy issue to take on. And the other thing I want to talk about today is the insanity of the Democrats. Not my friends and family, not non-elected official Democrats. Most of my friends and family are Democrats. Most are moderate Democrats. But the elected officials, when it comes to Trump and Trump derangement syndrome and the ballroom. So Donald Trump is building a ballroom on the east wing of the White House, funded by private donations from lots of 100 millionaires and billionaires, corporations, no taxpayer dollars involved. It's needed. There's nowhere for the White House to entertain large groups of people, heads of state. We've been doing it on lawns and tents for a long, long time. So this is appropriate, but Democrats are very angry because it's some lasting impact on the White House done by Donald Trump. You won't be surprised to hear is leading the charge on this. Eric Swalwell, Democrat from California, who was caught up in some espionage trouble with his girlfriend. Said next, don't even think of seeking Democrat nomination for president unless you pledge to take a wrecking ball to the Trump ballroom on day one. Talk about affordability. Talk about a waste of natural resources, a waste of capital. So they're so hateful of Donald Trump that if he builds this new, beautiful ballroom, they want to tear it down. Think about that insanity. So that's what started that off not that long ago. And then we have Jamie Raskin, who was asked, should the ballroom be used as the president plans as a ballroom, as an entertainment location? Jamie Raskin, no way. Democrat from Maryland. Jamie Raskin is considering a presidential bid if Democrats gain control of the House in the upcoming midterm elections. He has no shot of being president. That hair alone will keep him out of the White House. But he went on to say, this is a space that's owned by the people and that serves the people. So it should be used opposite of what Trump has in mind, which is for the American aristocracy and plutocracy to gather. Just silly. You know, here's the guy that talks about democracy all the time. Donald Trump was democratically elected. He is doing the things he said he was going to do, and he was supported by the people who want him to do these things. He has the mandate. He's the president. Representative Ro Khanna of California said the ballroom should be used in a way that celebrates and empowers forgotten Americans, as opposed to accommodating guests for glitzy dinners. Letting the 90,000 square foot structure remain a ballroom would likely only validate the means by which Trump built it. And just craziness. Representative Steve Cohen, Democrat, Tennessee, I don't think it would be a bad idea to tear it down. Again, think of the waste of capital, the waste of natural resources. Just horrible. He went on to say, it's this gigantic blob there that's Donald Trump. Clearly, one of the strategies of the Democrats, when I tie it into this affordability issue, they are doing nothing to cooperate with this president. Their goal is to make the economy worse. They're hoping for ruin in the American economy, for stress and anxiety and trouble for American citizens so they can get back the House in 2026. They're not trying to help. They're trying to hurt. Really seeing stuff like this so obvious. Gavin Newsom chimed in, of course. He said it's a metaphor for this administration. The recklessness to which he goes about things, the fact he doesn't believe in rules, he doesn't believe they apply to him. So, you know, he's a wrecking ball presidency. He kind of ties that into the tearing down of the East Wing. Some Democrats want to change the ballroom from an entertainment space to a museum. Raskin went on to say, some more from Raskin. He says he wants to name the ballroom or the space Democracy Matters Ballroom. And then Khanna says a little bit more. We need a White House that is not for tech billionaires, but for forgotten Americans. He says he wants to reach out to rural America. In that spirit, we should ask Americans in rural communities, urban centers, and hollowed out factory towns for their ideas of what to do with the space. I love this hollowed out factory towns. That's Democrats. That's Bill Clinton. That's permanent normal trade relations with China in 1999 through 2001. Edward Lengel, former chief historian for White House Historical Association, says the White House is a residence that symbolizes American democracy. The ballroom, he said, makes the White House resemble something else, a palace. Anyway, comical for sure. All right, that's all I have for you right now. Always try to buy American.